So, this week I'm doing a bit of a foreign exchange programme. Instead of my usual relaxed and laid-back look at all things unwatchable, I've decided to get together with a great YouTube critic and friend of mine, Raymond, to talk about a few knock-off Terminator movies. Over on Raymonds Channel, we've already been taking a look at the 1993 kick to the nuts that was Terminator Woman, also known as Kickboxer Terminator. And I highly recommend you click the annotation at the top of the screen and go and check it out. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Alternatively, if you've just come from Raymond's video, hello, and you can probably guess what's going to happen next. So if the Royal Mail is anything to go by, I reckon my little present to Raymond should be arriving right about now.
Huh, what's this? Lady Terminator. This must be the DVD that TYTD Reviews sent me. Well, let's check it out. Is this a porno? Did you send me a porno? I'm okay with that. Wait, she looks pretty angry. Oh no. Oh no, he's covered in blood. There's blood everywhere. For copyright and human decency levels, I can't show you the next clip because a new guy comes into the room and pulls a snake out of her snatch. What the? No, I already give up. I'm done. You promised me Terminator. You gave me a freaking porno. I'm freaking done.
There we go.
Okay, I had to go for a walk. What kind of person, when you ask them for a Terminator movie, sends you a porno about a woman with a snake in her fucking vagina? And then I ask you, hey, what's up with the vagina snake? And you're like, oh, I forgot about that. You forgot she had a viper in her vag? Or wait, let's go British. You forgot she had fangs in her fanny? What the hell is going on with this movie? You promised me a Terminator movie. Sure, there was an evil laugh that I found kind of suspicious, but I didn't think you'd send me a killer vagina porno. Okay, I'm gonna go home and drink. Anyways, I've had a chance to calm down a little bit. There is a vague Terminator reference. After getting her vagina snake stolen, she vows to go into the future and kill the guy's granddaughter. Why she didn't just kill him like she did her first 500 husbands, I'm not sure. But time travel, it's a start. And she goes into the future and turns into a fucking vagina snake to take over a woman's body and start a killing spree. The vagina snake fucking returns. So, if you're already as confused by this fucking batshit movie as I am, a guy steals the snake out of a witch's vagina, turns it into a magical knife, and this pisses the witch off, so she travels into the future, uses her remaining vagina snake power to go inside the body of a sexy archaeologist, and gives the archaeologist super strength and laser eyes. Terminator?
Well, if you're curious, the film was directed by H. Jut Jalil, who was also known as Jalil Jackson in this film. And if you're curious about exactly what you're getting yourself into, as if Raymond didn't make it clear enough, the guy's probably best known for having directed the ultimate what the hell am I watching movie, Mystics in Bali. These are not normal movies made by a normal person. These are largely mad ramblings. Both Lady Terminator and Mystics in Bali are loosely based on myths and legends, but it takes far more than just folklore to make the kind of utterly bizarre weirdness that's on display in these movies. There's some spark, something I just can't put my finger on, that's totally unearthly. I can honestly say I've seen very few films that have gone quite as out there as Jalil's films have. In addition, the film was written by Carr Krinhaus. This was their only writing credit. They never worked again. Again, with good reason.
Once it turns into Terminator, though, there's a lot of Terminator in this movie.
A mi nómina le faltan 50 pavos. Sí, firme.
As much shit as I gave this movie in the beginning, they are so similar once it gets going. You could just watch one movie, claim you saw the other, and no one would notice the difference. The backstory is a little different. In the original Terminator, Kyle Reese comes back from the future to stop the Terminator from killing his mom. And in this movie, a magical witch goes forward into the future to regain control of a magical amulet and regain the power of a snake that her husband stole from her vagina. If those aren't similar, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay, yeah, but there is so much similar in this movie. She gets her clothes the same way, gets her eyes knocked out. Well, she gets her eye knocked out by an ancient Indonesian shaman that shoots laser beams at her instead of a bullet, but you know, they're close enough. Crashes through the police station, shoots up the police station. She aims for the crotch and keeps kicking dudes in the crotch, unlike Terminator that just murdered people. This movie's very crotch damaging. I don't know why. Maybe she's angry that the snake was pulled out of her crotch, so now she needs to attack other people's crotches in order to get revenge. Feel my pain. Do you know how much it hurts to have a snake pulled out of your vagina? No, you don't. So you must be shot until you do.
Well, I mean, if you want my 10 cents, I think this film's most bizarre element lies in its scripting. The script's tonally all over the place. It's like someone took an old folk legend and the plot of The Terminator, shoved them together and said, "Now kiss." It's just odd and lumpy and hyperactive. The dialogue's some of the most unusually written scripting I've heard since The Room. There's an extended sequence where a load of policemen talk about hot dogs that doesn't lead anywhere, and there's a particularly odd moment at the beginning of the film where they set up Max with a woman called Linda, only to then kill her off 10 minutes later, and then apart from one or two very small scenes dotted in the opening of the film, she's never really mentioned again. Meaning they set up a love interest and then killed her off just to give our lead male character a tiny bit more emotional investment. Not that that particularly matters, because he's off trying to hook up with Erica within about 40 minutes of meeting her. Also, as an aside, I'm sat here recording this episode, reading my script, and I've just twigged that Linda may be a reference to Linda Hamilton. Yeah, it's that kind of a film.
As many scenes as this movie has in common with Terminator, and it's clearly a ripoff, it does have its unique Indonesian porno flair. She fucks the guys before killing them. She has laser eyes and mystical energy fireballs, not to mention the magical dagger made out of a snake that was pulled from her vagina. IMDb does feel the need still to tell us this movie is not in any way associated with the original Terminator film. Really? You think James Cameron made a movie about a angry witch who had a snake stolen from her vagina, so she goes into the future to seek revenge on the guy's family? He did make a movie about a guy who's the twin brother of a virtual reality soldier that uses virtual reality so he can fuck a giant blue alien with his tail. So I guess you weren't far off. I apologize, IMDb. While the director has made tons of crazy movies, the actors in this movie haven't done anything before or since. The bad guy, the cop, and the woman he's protecting have all been in nothing before or after. They're all first time, only time actors. The only people you might recognize at all are the voice actors who did the English dub for this movie. There's a lot of very prolific voice actors that somehow got tied into doing voices for this fucking film.
I also have to say the soundtracks are all over the place as well. The music is cheap synth that drifts in and out of the feature. It's totally unappealing, there's no scale to this, and most of the OST sounds like it could have been bashed out in an evening with a bottle of something strong. I also have to say that the ADR here is, and I'm going to use the technical term here, absolutely fucking ludicrous. And that's being polite. There's moments here that are entirely created artificially, and some dialogue that's been dubbed in that moves so quickly you really have no idea what's going on at times. The direction's not great, but it's better than some I've seen. The cast all have that standing around vibe that just makes things look a bit dry and awkward. Not helping matters, there are some choices that just don't work right to me, like the hot dog scene or any of the sequences in the nightclubs. They're a bit all over the place, and the style choices just don't land quite right for me. However, where it steals material, it tends to work the best. Almost all the scenes it lifts from the Terminator are actually handled rather well, I think. In particular, the eyeball scene stood out to me as actually looking somewhat better in my memory than the original scene in the Terminator. There's the odd moment of originality that creeps through that does surprise me, such as the meditation scene, that's quite impressive in terms of how it uses the cast and set design to create a tense and unusual atmosphere. But also the opening sequence is quite impressive in terms of scale as well. It's mostly stock footage, but hey, these guys dreamed big. The cine is probably the best thing this film has to offer. It has a very unique range of shot types and it mixes it up quite frequently. Again, it's hardly life-changing, award-winning cinema, but it actually works a good range. It seems more than happy to experiment, and it really tries to stylize the feature as much as possible. It has very mixed results, but it's trying at least. I can applaud a film that tries and fails over a movie that does nothing with its runtime and burns out. There are attempts at creative lighting that give it a moody, shadowy feel. There's a wide range of colours used throughout, mainly blues, that help give an added shadow and depth to several scenes in the film. It looks surprisingly alright. I don't know, maybe it's just me here, but saying Lady Terminator looks okay is a hill I'm willing to die on. Again, it's no masterpiece, I'm not looking at 2001 here, but it does what it does concisely and more or less to the point. Scripting permitted.
Overall, this movie is pure Indonesian craziness. Sure, lots of scenes have just stolen unabashedly from Terminator, but in between, it's just craziness. She's shooting people in the nuts and bangs a Bill Paxton character before stealing his clothes. She meditates with laser eyes and shit floating around the room. She's blowing up tanks and helicopters. Just, they decided to throw everything they could find from every action movie, and they're like, well, this is an action movie, needs this fucking trope, and just throws it in there. Lots of nudity, lots of sex, lots of violence, just everything you would want in a movie if it wasn't so batshit. If the batshittiness can bring it up for some people, but if you want to watch a movie and not be like, what the fuck? Maybe watch a regular 80s action movie instead of a movie that ripped it off. But it's still fun if you're drinking with friends and want to have fun and enjoy something crazy like this. It's perfect for that.
All in all, I liked this one. It's totally and utterly insane in places, but it's a damn fun little movie. It's weird, it's cheesy as hell. I can wholeheartedly recommend checking it out. To me, it's a good bad movie in every sense of the word. It's a must-see. I can't guarantee that it won't change your life for the worse, so why not edge your bets and check it out anyway?
I guess thank you for showing me this movie. I did find out something interesting though. You know, I like to click through the links on all the cast members, and I was able to connect Lady Terminator and Terminator Woman. In the beginning of the modern times scenes, the archaeologist talks to a librarian, who the American dub is voiced by Robert Axelrod. Robert Axelrod did the voice for Lord Zed in Power Rangers. The guy in the suit was Ed Neal. Ed Neal was in a movie called Breathing Fire with Jerry Trimble, who was the co-star of Terminator Woman. 6 degrees of Indonesian porn, my friends. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time. This was a lot of fun. Let's never do it again.